what is up today. We got kind of a new thing. We got our first Elite in Ash, which is pretty awesome. So everybody's familiar with the Elite, the ones that we've normally been doing. It's essentially the exact same thing, only instead of alder wood for the body, it's ash. You get this really cool raised grain, like if you listen with a pick. I mean, it's nice and textured. It's a really cool, just a really cool vibe, just awesome mojo when you're playing. A lot like the, John Mayer's Black One, or like even Stevie Ray Vaughan's Number One in spots, Rory Gallagher's Strat, that was kind of like left in water for a little bit. It's a really, really cool look, and just it feels really nice on your skin, and it just kind of adds that, I don't know, like you're playing something special, which is really, really cool. So the specs on this dude, besides the ash body, which ash is kind of a pain in the butt to get anymore, like good cuts of ash. You can get regular cuts of ash all day long, like who cares, but primo cuts of ash are hard to get. So when you get them, they're kind of pricey, but when you get them, they're super, super awesome, like this guy. So basically I have just a center seam, two-piece premium lightweight ash. Got clone pickups, regular just vintage hardware. We have the Black One wiring in here, which is really nothing too crazy. It's basically just rearranging the grounding, adding a capacitor, nothing crazy. Nice chunk of rosewood. This customer wanted 22 frets. In case he swaps the neck, there is the truss rod adjustment. I don't even know what you would call that, that little notch right there. So it's there, you just can't see it. Decent size fret, 6105, pretty standard for what we do. This one has kind of a chunky-ish shape to it, almost like a, I don't know, almost like a Les Paul, but not quite. This customer also ordered this in a short scale. So this has the, like the Gibson standard 23 3/4 instead of 24 1/2. So normally the nut would be about right there. So it's just a little bit shorter, a little easier to bend strings. Of course, if you're used to playing this kind of guitar, going to a short scale, it's a little weird, because like you're kind of used to like bending to a spot, and with the scale being different, that spot moved. So whatever, it's fun. Get some try that one again. Takes some getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's really cool. So it's very Gibson-y on the neck, you know, kind of a chunkier profile, you know, kind of the slim, tall frets, slightly wider nut as well, 22 frets. So it's basically like your standard S-style guitar with like a Gibson neck on it, which is pretty cool. He also wanted locking tuners, which is pretty cool. Personally, like as long as you stretch your strings out and you're not like super crazy with like your tremolo action, as far as I'm concerned, you really don't need them. But on the other hand, it is also pretty cool because they're a lot heavier than standard tuners, so you're gaining a lot of mass at the headstock, which adds quite a bit of sustain, which is always awesome. Yeah, just non-checked nitro paint. I get a reflection a little bit, nice and glossy. This was modeled after an existing guitar, which he sent me pictures of. Turned out really great. Neck is like a dead flat satin nitro, which is also killer. Being ash is a lot harder than alder wood, so it's going to be quite a bit brighter. A lot like the vintage tellies were back in the 50s. You know, it just has that, like the tone wood is just naturally brighter. So when you play, if you want it to sound like a typical F-style guitar, you have to back off that tone a little bit. Even then, you're going to have a little more attack than you're used to, which is cool. You know, it's just a different kind of, just a different thing to get used to, or not even get used to, but just play with. Like personally, when I'm in a live situation, if I'm playing my like that black one right there, like very Gilmour inspired, if I'm playing that one, I'm going to play a certain way because it sounds a certain way. If I am playing, which you really can't see, but if I'm playing like our Silverback or the 52, 53 T inspired with the humbucker and the neck, all three of these things sound totally different. So since they sound different, you're going to be reacting with the instrument differently given different circumstances. So like say I'm playing Shine On You Crazy Diamond or something like that, I would be playing it, you know, with straight clean channel for the most part, with like a chorus or something on the black guitar. The pickups are a little different in the Silverback, so I might throw on like a Klon or maybe my Color Sound Power Boost and roll the volume back a little bit. If I'm playing the 52, 53, the yellow guy back there, I might throw on like my Katana that has a considerable volume boost that I have it set on, but I will also roll back the volume just so I have more of that single coil attack out of a humbucker. But yeah, it just depends. You just got to play with it, you know. Everything, like these guys are paint brushes, your pedals are your colors, you're just painting. It's pretty cool. So you just paint. Anyway, I'm gonna shut the hell up and play this thing. So got a Dumble circuit, clean, pretty straightforward, little reverb going on the amp. No pedals on right now. I'm not going to be throwing in anything crazy. So on my board that I keep here in the little man cave jam spot, I have tuner, blues breaker, TS10, a Klon, Russian Big Muff, one of the new reissues, it sounds alright, a Joyo California, I'm just trying it out, a Fox Gear Matrice, it's kind of like an Electric Mistress, also trying it out, doesn't sound very good, I don't know. The Fox Gear Echo Sex Baby for a little delay, that one sounds good. A RT20 from Boss, it's like a Leslie Sim, sounds good, and a volume pedal. But I'm just going to be hitting the Blues Breaker, TS10, and the Klon just randomly. So, yeah, here we go. I don't know if you can tell, but it is super, super, super bright. This ash just makes that high end just come on through. So, if you have like an S-style guitar with an ash body, if you want to kind of get rid of that ash quality, if you have like a .022 cap, you can roll back the tone knob by about half and it sounds like alder wood. It just gets rid of a lot of that high end. Used to such spanky high end, besides from that guy. It's very very T sounding. I could always change the amp, but I kind of want to keep the amp settings the same for every demo, just to keep everything the same. But middle pickup. Here's where the quack comes in nicely. So, like I was saying about painting and whatnot with this stuff. So, normally, so that's real bright, almost like sterile. It's so bright. So what I'm going to do is hit the blues breaker, roll back my volume a little bit, and see what happens. Instantly better. Instantly better. Sounds good. So, keeping the blues breaker on and the volume rolled back, I'm at like 7. I'm gonna hit the TS10. Still a lot of high end, so I'm going to roll that back, say like 5, 6. Let me adjust this camera real quick. See if that's all any better at all. Yeah, a little bit. killer tones. Killer. See what else we got going on. So we're gonna keep both tones at 5, just to keep them at 5, just so I don't have to show you what the guitar sounds like super bright and then roll them back again. I'm just gonna keep them at 5. So, like slow dancing. That's super weird on a short scale, by the way. So if we add a clon, which is set for like a slight treble boost, pretty much even gain, even gain, even volume. The treble is at like 1:30, 2 o'clock. The gain and volume are at like 10:30-ish. So really nothing crazy. So with that, just to do an A-B. That's just straight clean with that clon in there. Right behind the clon, so it's guitar going into the TS10 going into the clon. And for shits, let's put the blues breaker on top of that. I'm gonna roll back the volume to like 8 just to get rid of that like woolly kind of shitty sound. Again, we're painting here. So, the full output with all 3 pedals stacked on each other. Ballsy loud, really loud in this small room, very loud. But the, so loud, woolly, like a little too woolly. So when we roll back that volume a little bit, it's decreasing the amount of output going to our pedals. And the pedals are working fine by themselves. So when we cut back a little bit on that, on the output of the pickups, we're just going to be pulling back a little of that woolly, harsh kind of, I don't know. I don't even have a word for it. But we go from this to it's way more articulate. Also worth mentioning that this is going to be different with any amp. You have different pedals, like different clones. If you have like a TS10 clone versus a real one, or hell, even like different cables or something could you know, just use your ears. You know, if it sounds good at 10, keep it at 10. If it doesn't, roll it back. Or if it needs more, you know, turn the knob up a little more or whatever. You know, just use your ears. Kill the clon. Middle pickup only. And I'm still at 8, so here's a 10. So we got rid of that clon. We got rid of that extra gain stage, so we can turn it back up to 10. Everything's still nice. But this is perfect for that, like, Good Love Is on the Way. Maybe we can roll it down, like, for the intro. That sound exactly the way it is through the entire song. You know, you don't have to keep messing with stuff. The less you mess around with things, the better your performance is going to be, hands down. So, the only time you're going to want to change that, well, short scale, it's killing me. I'm regretting even turning the volume up. See, the less I mess with stuff, the better off. So. Yeah, it's killer. Like, who did you think I was? That even might be better just with the TS10 and the clon. See, because just with the TS10 alone, sounds good. It's just not quite ballsy enough. So hit that clon on top of it. It's cool. But yeah, I mean, the guitar is killer. The amp's killer, pedals are killer. It's all killer. It's just how the way you use it, you know. Like, I mean, you can really get most any setup sounding pretty good. Most any setup sounding pretty good. Like, I mean, if you have like a Squire and like a little crate amp, I mean, you're kind of shit out of luck. But Get yourself a McLaughlin guitar, a Dumble, a couple pedals. You'll be all set. But yeah, this dude right here set you back, I don't know, around $2 grand, give or take. Not even really. I mean, there's no like flame maple or any craziness to it. So, and like, you know, 2 payments of like $9.99, easy peasy. Also, I was going to end. I'm going to keep going. But, another thing is, like, don't underestimate using your volume. Like, you know, we have, I think still the Klon, yeah, Klon and the TS10 still, you know, for the... If you roll your volume back to, like, 3 or 4... Say even 5. Maybe even lighten your picking style up a little bit and go to 6. You can get a ton of different sounds. Even same exact thing, 4th position right here. So, I mean, without changing anything, you know, everything's on 5, say. Like the intro of Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Bridge pickup, volume all the way up. See what I'm saying? You can just do anything, just setting a couple pedals. Just using these. When you have a good guitar, you can just use these. But yeah, pick one up. Killer, especially in Ash. They're awesome. Have a good